Hello everybody and welcome to the Stanley Parable with me, JC24. And you're probably wondering, the first thing that you probably notice is the webcam. I thought I'd webcam this because it's not really a game, the narrator will probably over-narrate me in this game, so I thought I'd hopefully rely on facial reactions, as the audio might not be too exciting or whatever from my end, so hopefully we'll get some funny facial reactions to whatever happened in this game. I've been meaning to play this for a while. I played the demo, but now I'm going to play it for you guys. I know, got a nice hat, and my webcam is kind of laying on the blue tack, so if you guys fall, don't fall. No. Right, let's get straight into it, shall we?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
427.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winding, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen,
Something was wrong, guys. Yeah.
Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, I'm doing stuff now. Okay. I'm assuming that's AM, I hope. Got some things here, some paperwork. I can only move around. I can't really read any of that. What's on that paper? I'm assuming we just go in here then.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it mean,
Stanley
guys?
decided to go to the meeting room.
Did I?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Maybe I did. And just so you know, I haven't played the demo. When I did play the demo, it was like a year ago. So I don't really remember all of that much. So it's still pretty new to me. Can I go in here? No, I can't. Okay. Where's this meeting room I have to go to then? Is it in here? What's in there? Nope. I'm assuming we're just walking through some
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did I? No, I'm going to the right. Screw you.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Is it
and
not?
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Don't tell me that we've just gone all the way back. Oh, okay.
Yes, truly a room
That
worth
would have been cool if
admiring.
it was.
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to
Yes.
spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Beautiful,
Stanley
guys. It's
simply stood
beautiful.
here, drinking it all in.
Yes, I would like to get a drink. Is that not a thing? It's always control in games to crouch. It's never something else.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Yeah.
A room so utterly captive, but eager to get back
Oh,
to
can
business.
I-
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did I? Apparently I took the first open door to left. In there. Well, what's in here, guys? We want to see what's in here. We're going to
Stanley
bypass
was so
the
bad at
rules.
following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh my god.
Look,
Oh.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Apparently.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
No.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
all this
There's
time,
someone
guys,
you've
you
been
know?
neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Her? Who's her exactly?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put
In
your
here?
work aside.
Oh, okay.
To let her back into your
Who's
life.
her?
She's been waiting.
Has she? Apparently she's been waiting for me. What's in here?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay. I'll do it. Was I meant to do it? 427. That's right there.
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Is that meant to be funny?
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside.
It's okay, guys.
Let me show you what's really going on here.
What's in here?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
I'm Stanley. Good morning, employee 427. Press X on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He
Thanks.
has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Q.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what
Am I
he's told
Stanley?
to do.
It's the
Now
person
he's
playing the
pushing
game,
a button.
Stanley.
Now he's eating
My
lunch.
name's actually Jack.
Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Feel sorry for him. What happens if I don't press Q? I press Q.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk,
Absolutely.
Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown.
Let me go in here, please.
Fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever
None of it, guys. None of it. TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he
I'm still in
imagined
here,
that
you
one
know.
day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either.
Am I meant to?
At last,
I'm still in
choice.
here, you know.
It barely even mattered
Next-door neighbour's
what lay
dog.
behind each door.
use that
The mere
stuff.
thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
I'm not even.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls, and down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down
Right.
another was a game with a baby, and he called it the Stanley Parable.
Alright. That's what I'm playing right now.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again.
I feel like I shouldn't have gone
and
this way.
again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end,
This
that
is
he might
interesting.
always feel this
I mean,
free.
just look at this painting.
Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
Let's
In
just look at this
reality,
clock,
all
shall we?
he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Nothing has
the longer he
changed.
spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
Absolutely.
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be
What?
anything but an observer. That as long as he
When
remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen
did
to me.
this change?
He won't stop.
Um.
Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay. I'm gonna
You
press it.
see? Can he just not hear me?
I can't hear him.
Tell him in a way that he'll
He's a
understand
broken
that every
guy,
second he
you know?
remains here, he's electing to kill himself. How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Oh,
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I
O
want
and
to.
0.
But I
I'm
don't
confused, you
make the
see.
rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
Yeah.
Perhaps, well, maybe this time you'll see. Maybe this time.
Maybe this time.
And I tried again.
Please die.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And
I think I pressed E too many times. Perry. Did I just... I feel like I've just reset the game. Or... Is this meant to happen?
His co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Let's see what he says this
When
time.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I did. You're absolutely right. La la la. Going into the light. Who's in here?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it boil up inside you. Well, these are obviously on PowerPoint 2008. To do shift global market powered. Monetize free to play. Right.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
What's out
to
there?
his boss's office.
Why is the boss office all the way up these creepy ladders? Well, I say ladder, stairway. I beg my pardons. Hello? Is he in here?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
I go in
What he
here.
could not have known was that
Right.
the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from
1,
him.
2,
And so the boss had
3,
assigned it
4.
an extra secret PIN number.
It's not it, is it?
2845.
2,
But of course, Stanley
8,
couldn't possibly
4,
have known this.
5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
I
by
forgot
sheer
those.
luck. Amazing. He stepped
Amazing.
into the newly opened passageway.
Oh, it's here. Okay. What's through here, guys? Nothing back here? Nothing at all? No, just darkness. Like my soul, dark, you know? I'm just gonna press this button.
Descending deeper into the building,
Descending deeper,
Stanley
yeah.
realized he felt a bit peculiar.
Peculiar?
It was a
Nice
stirring
peculiar.
of emotion in his chest, as though he
Right.
felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
The nature of
Why
my
did he
job,
feel
guys.
this now,
Why
when
did I
for
feel this
years
now,
it
guys,
had
you know?
never occurred to him.
It's never occurred to
This
me.
question would not go unanswered for long.
Right, so we're gonna go through here. Hello? Is anybody here?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large
I
door that
think
read
I
Mind Control
remember this bit.
Facility.
Actually. It's very dark. Very dark. Hello? What's
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
Christ,
screens.
this reminds me of
What
Portal.
horrible secret did this place hold?
What did it
Stanley
hold,
thought
guys,
to
you know?
himself.
What
he
did
have
it
the
hold?
strength to
Did I
find
have the
out?
strength? No one knows. I'm assuming I press this one.
Now the monitors jumped to life.
Jesus
Their true
Christ.
nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The
Oh, but they-
lives of so many individuals.
This looks
reduced to
really
images
annoying
on
to
a
edit.
screen. And
Like,
Stanley,
make.
one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Freedom meant nothing, you know. Now we press another button like we do every day of our lives.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I've been manipulated, guys. Right, let's go in. Oh,
No.
fan.
He refused to believe it.
No.
He couldn't accept it.
couldn't.
His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
It was
Wasn't
unthinkable.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Oh my.
Happy or sad. Or
Offline,
content.
offline.
Walking, eating, working. All of it
Offline.
monitored and commanded
No.
from this very place.
Can I?
And as the cold reality of his
Anything?
past began to sink in,
Yes.
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
I'm assuming I go over
For
here.
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Once and for all. Now guys, you're probably wondering, what button do I press? I ask myself that every day. It's probably this one. Is it this one? No. Is it that one? That one? Did I have to go up here and I was just being really, really dumb about it? Probably. Probably. Let's press this. And again. Okay. That's obviously not it. Mind control ideal. Awaiting input. Ooh, it's that terminal. A little bit of a Windows terminal.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place
Horrible.
and to everything it stood for.
Everything is terrible. Should I press the off button? Or should I press the on button? Leave your suggestions in the comment section below. Even though I can't read them because this isn't live. So I'm going to press one anyway.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you
Yep.
go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Yes.
Control?
I want to control, you know.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go.
Let it
Turn
go.
The controls
Let
off
it go.
And leave.
Okay, I'll
if
do
you
that.
want to throw my story off
do that.
track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
Mm.
I'm afraid you don't have nearly
Let's do
the
it.
power you
Come
think
on.
you do. For example,
Oh,
and I
fine.
believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Ah.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating
Doesn't
the
sound
entire
very nice, if I'm
complex.
honest.
How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
Two?
Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Um,
It's your time to shine.
do I run?
You are the star.
Do I
it's
run?
your story now. Shape it to your
Do I?
heart's desires.
Do I?
Oh, this
I'm
is
assuming I
much
run.
better than
I'm
what
gonna
I
run.
had in mind. What
Run.
a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments
Oh no, it's such a
until the
shame.
bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me. where we're going,
37.
What all this means. I barely know where to start.
Where? Do I just go back?
What's that? You'd like to
What's
know
down
where your
there?
co-workers are.
Nothing.
A
Okay.
moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're
Is he gonna
die
turn it off?
anyway.
Oh.
I'll tell you exactly what happened to them.
What happened to them?
I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was
Oh.
merely in
That's
this
full.
instance of the story.
I'm assuming I'm
Sometimes when
pretty
I tell it,
powerless in
I
this,
simply
then.
let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Thanks.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control
I can't.
wrested away
I'm
from
pretty
you.
powerless
It's quite
here.
rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next
I'm just gonna press a load of
go-around will be even
buttons.
better.
See what happens, you know.
My
Just
goodness,
help.
only 34 seconds left.
I know.
But I'm enjoying this so much.
So am I.
You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
Oh,
Rainbow.
you.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley?
Music's quite good, I must
Is it
say.
that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
You tell me.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on
It's
every
pretty
little
good.
thing in this
That's
room.
exactly what I was
These
doing.
numbered buttons. No,
Or the Darren
these
Brown
colored
of the
ones. Or maybe
gaming
this big red
world.
button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley?
I don't know, why
That
would I
this
think
video
that?
game can be beaten?
Why would I think that, guys?
One solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No.
Stanley. You're in for quite a
Stanley.
disappointment. But
Can
here's a
I...
spoiler for you.
I'm just going to go back
That
here.
timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
Thank you.
To see you made humble.
These floating
This is not a
wires.
challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's
I did.
fine.
I wanted to control
But I'm
this
going
world.
to destroy it first, so
No.
you can't.
That's not very nice.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to
Well, I might as well go
30
die in
seconds and then
style.
a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully?
I don't know.
Choice.
What shall I do,
Make
guys?
it count, or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be
Oh.
laughing at every
Oh.
second of your
Oh.
inevitable
Oh.
life from the moment we fade in until the
Nice
moment
knowing you.
we say happily ever after.
I'm back here, apparently.
He entered the door on his left.
Yes, let's do this one again. Let's turn the button off if we end up in the same circumstance, shall we? Can I go
Stanley
in there?
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping
I
he
couldn't
mi-
go in it before.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was
This is
nothing
new.
here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Yes, that's exactly what I did. And I closed the door because I'm polite.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Should I go down here instead? I think we should. That's exactly what we should do.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
I couldn't do
He
it,
considered
guys.
the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And
Yeah.
in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy.
Crazy.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
I am
All of my
crazy.
co-workers blinking
And Dean Ambrose
mysteriously
was
out of
crazy, no?
existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Strange.
For example,
Yeah.
why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Just like
Why
most
did doors
games, like
close
Minecraft.
automatically behind him wherever he went?
Because it's probably
And for
you.
that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply
they?
repeating?
Were they
No,
repeating?
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it.
Haven't.
I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found
This
an
is
answer, an
interesting.
explanation.
Going
His
through
co-workers weren't actually
very
gone. He
familiar
wasn't going to lose his job.
corridors.
He wasn't crazy after all.
No.
And he thought to himself,
That's a
I
shame.
suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job
Boring
pushing
real-life job,
buttons.
yeah.
I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid.
Yeah, exactly.
So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Well,
Then he imagined himself soaring through
Jesus.
space on a magical star field.
That was interesting.
And it too appeared. It was so much fun. And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
what?
How was he
is
remaining
this?
so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head.
What
One
was
he
it?
was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about
That's exactly
how
what's
it's
happening.
describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be?
How could it be?
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
Yeah, it's quite a shock.
After all,
Absolutely.
he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So
This
he closed
was
his
a
eyes
dream.
gently,
Yeah.
and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
I can
the
feel
fresh
it.
air of the world outside.
Got a pillow here and everything, you see.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please.
Please.
It's all I want.
That's what I want.
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal.
Normal.
I am normal.
I am normal.
Everything will be fine.
Everything will be all
I
ogre.
am okay.
It's just painted. Well then, back here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
No.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Oh my god, is that
But on
me?
this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man
No, it's
who
not
had
me.
stumbled
Okay.
through town talking and screaming to himself, and then
It was
collapsed
me.
dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
I'm in control of my
I know
mind.
what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, of course I'm back here.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself, and constantly needed
The one
support
thing
and
that's in my
guidance from
mind while
others.
playing this
So the
is
thought of
this
total
game
solitude
actually,
was
does it have an ending? I haven't watched any
When
playthroughs
Stanley
or
came to
anything.
a set of 2 open doors, he entered the
Nearly.
door.
I don't want to do that again. No. No.
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I'm gonna turn it off. It's a black screen, guys, you know. If that's the end of the game.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
David Attenborough, isn't it now?
Yes, he had won. He had defeated the machine.
I did.
Unshackled himself
pressing
from
that one
someone
button.
else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he
Oh, it's very
realized
dark down
none
there.
of this mattered to him.
Jesus Christ, that's
For
dark.
it was not knowledge or even power
Come
that
on.
he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps
Ah,
his
look at
goal
that.
had not been to understand, but to let go.
Let it
No
go.
longer would anyone
Let
tell
it
him
go.
where to go.
Just
what
let
to
me
do,
out this bloody place
or
already.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Come on, come on, so close. I just want to walk down that path, please. Please,
It was
please,
perhaps
don't be any
the only
twist,
thing
please.
worth
I just want to get out of it.
Stanley stepped through the open door.
Once it actually goes down.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I was. Alright guys, that's it for this recording. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry that there's not much commentary, but of course it's pretty much commentary based, the game itself, so that's why I had the webcam, so you can see my actual reactions instead of me just being silent and you can't see what's happening to or my reaction to what's happening. So don't forget to leave that like button if you enjoyed my reaction and the gameplay itself. Don't feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, it means a lot. Feel free to share with your friends and family, it means a lot as well. And I will see you in the next video. Adios amigos.